In this video we're taking a look at this 18 volt brushless jigsaw by Cat. Stay tuned because it's coming right now. Hey, what's up guys, it's your main man JB here. In this video we're looking at this jigsaw, this 18 volt brushless jigsaw by Cat. This is the DX51B model. Now I'm really liking the look of this, and I really did want to get my hands on a cordless jigsaw, so thanks to Cat I've now got one, but battery and charger not included. Don't worry about that because I've got the charger and I've got a battery. There we go, we've got the jigsaw, we've got the charger, and we've also got a 4 amp 18 volt battery. Oh yes, let's open them up and check them out. Right, there we go, nice big chunky battery, as you would expect being a 4 amp. Pretty similar to the DeWalt batteries. I do wonder. Okay, so it looks pretty good, pretty well made. As I say, very similar to the DeWalt batteries. And we've also got this battery indicator here. Now at the moment that's just showing 2 green lights out of a potential 5. So what we'll do is we'll put this on charge while we're having a look at this jigsaw. So what have we got in here? So just a little catalogue really of other Cat tools. Interesting, I'll take a look at that later. And then we've also got a battery pack instruction manual. Okay, we'll see about that one. So there's the battery, and let's open the charger then. This is a half-hour charge on a 2 amp battery and an hour charge on a 4 amp battery. So that really is a quick charger. So with these Cat tools, it is very similar to other cordless tools where you can use the same battery in all your tools. It's just really got to be the way to go, isn't it? And there we go, we've got another catalogue and another instruction and safety manual. Okay, always read the manuals. We'll put that there with the others. Empty box. So here it is. I think you'll agree, pretty standard, but let's get it plugged in and put the battery on it. So we plugged it in and turned it on, and straight away we've got a green light, and a green light indicates that the battery is fully charged, but there's no battery on there yet. So let's get the battery and put it on. There we go, so it's now showing a red light. So red light here means the battery is charging. So then let's open up the jigsaw. Oops. Right, empty box. Safety and operating manual. We'll take a look at that later. Bit of safety protective packaging. 1 blade. Okay. So you do get a blade with it, so definitely a wood blade. And the unit itself, yeah, looks and feels pretty good, to be honest. So that's for your extraction, and then you also have a guide on there as well. I generally don't use guides on jigsaws. I'd rather use a fence, to be honest, but if you do want to use that, you can just slide that through the front like so. It's quite nice that you've got 2 bolts here that you tighten. Keeps that extra rigid and in position, and there we go, you can use that just like that to run along an edge. So quite nice. So we'll give you a bit of a close-up look. So that's how the unit looks, and all this area here is nice rubberized material. You've got a really good grip on that. I've actually never felt a grip as good as that, to be honest. Yeah, that's lovely, all over the front there as well. So 2 hands on this and you get a real good grip. Get a grip, JB. So we've got the trigger right here to start the jigsaw. It's got the pendulum setting on the side here, so you have got 1, 2, 3 or 4 settings, so 0, 1, 2, 3. And if you're not familiar with the pendulum setting, that basically means that if this was the blade sitting in the tool here, it does this. It actually rocks backwards and forwards, which makes it easier cutting when you're doing quite sharp corners or circles or what have you. If you're doing a straight line, generally keep that on 0, straight forward, there you go. But it does actually increase the speed of cutting and makes it easier on a higher pendulum setting when you want to do a bit of like this kind of thing. So you can take the base off like so. Not quite sure why you would do that though, to be honest, but there you go. You just hook it over the front and then push it into position. But that's nice and smooth anyway, so that's good. You're not going to scratch your workpiece. That's where the battery goes. We'll get that on in a minute. And then the tool change, if I just get the blade that is supplied, so it's in a bag, so we'll take it out of that bag as well. This is all recyclable. Do check those triangles and make sure all that goes in the recycle bin. So there's your blade. It's quite nice actually. It's quite a long blade, which is good. Let's just put the tape measure on that. And total length is 120 millimeters, so that's pretty good. See how much depth you get with this. This is a toolless blade change, and what we do here is we can just pull this front section here like that, and that allows you to put the blade in. Make sure you put the blade in with the saw facing the front. So we just pull that to the side. That should allow that to sit into position just like that. There we go. Took a little bit of moving around, but that is now sitting in there. Perfect. Now when you're changing the blade, do make sure you take the battery off, because it's quite easy to kind of hold the jigsaw here and accidentally pull that trigger. You're not going to have much of a finger left if you do that. So remove the battery, and you could also put it on lock. So there we go, we've got the blade in. And then the other thing, the last thing that we've got on here is this lever, which I believe we pull out. I've pulled that out, and from there it locks down into position. You lift it up, then you can turn it. So this allows you to put different angles on your workpiece. If you have a look on here, you can see that these slots basically is 45 degrees, 90 degrees and 45 degrees. There we go. Pretty good. I like it so far. It feels nice as well. Now it hasn't been that long, but I'm going to get that battery, I'm going to put it in and we'll have a go. We've got 3 lights on there, so let's put it in. That'll be enough power. So the battery goes in nice and easy. Yeah, that's a nice fit. Sometimes putting the batteries in can be quite tough and you have to really push it, but that goes in really nicely and it sits in there tight as well. When you've got the battery in there, it feels nice and balanced. There we go. So if I hold that off one finger there, you can see how the battery's not pulling it one way or that's pulling it the other. So by holding the handle like so, it pretty much sits flat, which is nice. We're all set, let's give it a go. Okay, so it's variable speed on the trigger, so we can go slow. That's about as slowish as I can get it. And then if I slowly squeeze it, well, that's pretty good, isn't it? You've got a rather fast jigsaw there. Just want to see what this button here is doing. Ah, okay, so I've worked it out. You can either have it pushed all the way one way or pushed all the way the other, and that will allow you to use the jigsaw. But if you put it halfway, there, that's what it's for. So halfway in the middle, you can see there it's kind of pushed in on both sides. That's not going to go off, and it's actually protected with this part of the handle as well. So even if you hit it here, it's not going to turn on that, which is actually a bit of a concern really, isn't it? Because what we don't want is our tools going off while they're in the van or in the bag or whatever. So nice lock feature there on the trigger. Now with this blade that came with the tool, when it's inserted into the jigsaw and the jigsaw's in the lowest position, you're looking at over 70 millimeters of depth cutting. That's pretty hefty. Just take it easy. So if you do want to use extraction with this, all we need to do is to push that into there, push it a little bit further, and it wedges itself just inside here behind the blade. So then you can put your shop vac or your hoover or whatever you like in there. And this suction is just behind the blade here, so hopefully that's going to collect most of the dust. They do a good job when you're using a vacuum on most power tools, but there's always that tiny little bit that gets away. But yeah, that's good. Very nice. Right, let's get some timber and give it a go. Right, so we've got a piece of pallet wood here. Let's see how it copes with this. Well, that felt really easy to cut through. Almost felt too easy. I'm going to try that again. Wow, I think maybe because I had it on that pendulum setting, I'm going to take it off pendulum so it's on 0, and we'll see if that makes any difference. Because in theory it should be slower to cut. Yeah, so that is slower to cut, but that actually did it a lot cleaner, which was quite interesting. Let's try it on a piece of MDF. So, bit of 12mm MDF, and we've got it on 0 pendulum setting, so let's see how it copes with this. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put it on 3 and just see the difference. So that is a lot quicker. That was so much quicker on the pendulum setting, but just have a look at the difference of the two cuts. This is nice and clean, and this is quite jagged, and it actually pulled up bits of the MDF as well. The pendulum setting is good, and it does make it easier to turn, which we'll find out in a minute, but it does leave it looking rougher. Right, 18mm MDF. Let's just see what that's like on this pendulum setting 3 to make some curvy lines. Wow, that was pretty good. And those curves are actually quite smooth. Check that out. Very nice. Little bit of breakout, but you know, that's a pretty good finish on there. like the fact that it is toolless, so you don't need tools to change the angle of the blade, and you don't need tools to change the blade. That makes it super easy to use. One more thing, let's try a rip cut right along the grain of this bit of timber. Fantastic. Let's put it on the pendulum setting. And that is a lot quicker. The cut seems to be a tiny bit bigger than the cut I did here, but still pretty good. So I've got to be honest and say that this really is a great jigsaw. I absolutely love it. There's no reason whatsoever why I feel I need to get one from another brand now. So I've got high hopes for this cat jigsaw, and I will do a follow-up video probably in about 12 months to see how I've been getting on with this, because it is certainly going to come in handy, and this will be going in the van on most of my jobs. The only thing I wish I did have though was some kind of carry case for it, and really don't want to leave it in the van with the blade sticking out, so I think I'll keep the blade out when I'm transporting it. Just notice the underneath of the battery has also got some rubber on it, so it doesn't slide on a surface, which is also quite handy. I do like that action. Right then, there we go guys, this is the 18 volt brushless cat jigsaw DX51 model. Absolutely fantastic, love it. Now if you've got any comments or questions, do leave those in the comments box below, and if you want to get your hands on one of these, I will leave links and information about this tool in the description box down below. For your 20% discount on this cordless jigsaw, just enter the discount code on your screen right now. If you are new to woodworking guys and you've never used a jigsaw before, do make sure that you get the advice from a professional and you do read the manual beforehand. Now wait a minute, you better talk to my mother. And there's also plenty of videos out there on YouTube on how to use a jigsaw. Alright, awesome. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you've got anything to say, why don't you put it in the comments box below. Remember to share with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and give us a thumbs up. Nice one guys, see you on the next video.